Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the House Academy Show, entertaining real estate investment talk. I'm Steven Jack Butala.
And I'm Jill DeWit, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about a step-by-step instruction on how to double your house money.
What?
Exactly.
Whoop. It's like, you don't make that noise? How do you make that noise?
Which one?
Oh my gosh, a needle going across the vinyl.
Oh.
Does anyone know what a needle? Okay, a lot of you listening do, but there's a few of you that don't know what a needle going across the vinyl sounds like.
Yeah,
so,
I know what it's like.
Okay, thank you.
It happened when my mom had enough of the music I was playing when I was a kid.
Oh, and is that what does vinyl sound like when it hits a wall?
I just saw this. So, speaking of vinyl, of all the resurgence of stuff that I think is just about as silly as it gets, this resurgence of, music sounds better on vinyl.
No, it doesn't.
Pure fiction.
It does not.
So there's this whole thing on YouTube now.
That's funny.
For, people that have vinyl.
Right.
To literally play records, record it like it's 1981.
Right.
With a microphone and stuff. And put it on there.
When you really look at it.
And then listen to it on the internet.
Which is funny. People don't realize. By the way, the vinyl that you listen to today, after 10, 20, 50, 100 plays, it sounds different. It wears down. I remember, I'm dating myself now, but I remember the transition to CDs and digital, and it's studio quality every time. I'm like, what do you mean studio quality every time? It really is. The vinyl wears down. I'm not going to talk about other things that would wear down, but anyway.
What would wear down?
Well, like cassettes. We're getting into.
Why aren't you going to talk about it? So you can date yourself.
Okay, well, I remember cassettes, and those too wear down. And it's really interesting. People, I went to sound recording school because I thought I wanted to do this as an occupation, and learning how the vinyls are made and how they're pressed.
Yeah, they're pressed.
And everything. It's really interesting. Yeah, it's really cool. So
there's nothing better than a digital audio recording that's delivered, through a wired device. That's it.
Just studio quality.
Yeah.
That never fades.
Yes.
And that's what we have now. It's amazing.
So what do you think this vinyl thing? I mean, oh my God, isn't this supposed to be about real estate?
I know. I really want to talk about houses.
Why are you guys talking about vinyl and stuff?
Okay.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the houseacademy.com online community. It's free.
Julie wrote, "What's the difference between mobile homes in parks and ones that seem to be on owned land?"
Oh my gosh, why are you guys all of a sudden talking about mobile homes so much?
Right. Gosh.
I thought this was the House Academy show. I thought we were supposed to buy a house and mark it up and sell it for more.
Right.
And by the way, all you've ever said, Steve, is you're going to make 20 or 30% on your money with houses, not double your money. Why all of a sudden here's why.
Wait, answer the question first and then do the show.
Mobile homes are great right now. And so are buying very inexpensive houses in C grade, D to C grade census areas. But I'll get to that in a second. Mobile homes, there's mobile homes in a park. So which is the vast majority of mobile homes. You buy the mobile home. A lot of times you pay 10 or 15 grand for it. You own the mobile home.
Like a car, like you own a car.
And then you pay what's called a pad fee. And so you pay depending on where you are in the country, between $100 and let's say $600 or $700 a month. If it's on the ocean here in California, it's closer to $1,200.
You lease the land.
You lease the land. And if something goes wrong with the mobile home, then you're responsible for it, and the way you are with the house.
Mm-hmm. And you get to use the pool and the laundry facilities and the rec room, whatever it is that they may or may not have.
Right.
And they pay, and they take care of the pavements and the gate, the guard gate.
Great lifestyle. I personally don't invest in that ever. It's not real estate. You're buying it's like buying a car and selling it. And there's a lot of depreciation and devaluation involved in that scenario.
But it's cheaper.
Yes.
People love it because it's
Great
just
lifestyle.
cheap and easy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hands
it's
down.
Very,
if you want cheap living,
very
that's
low
the way to go.
expensive, way to have a home and have a pool and have a guard gate and all that stuff. You don't have to think about any of that.
Well,
What?
You're describing a mobile home that the mobile home parks that you've seen.
Oh yeah, the nice ones.
I don't think there's guard gates or pools in most of them.
Yeah.
I think it's that guy sells crack over there. This one's got the meth market.
I'm talking about the one in Palos Verdes here. There's a guard gate and a golf club.
The ones that are not in parks are the ones that we love. So they're on a piece of real estate that's owned typically by the mobile home owner, and they own it just like they would a house. There just happens to be a mobile home there instead. And I think that's the best of both worlds. You get a rural lifestyle. In most cases, they're rural. You get a lot of acreage associated with it, so you can kind of spread out and do stuff that I think human beings are supposed to do, not live in an apartment in Los Angeles. I think humans are supposed to go out and maybe engage in hunting and gathering and
riding bikes,
auto mechanics and stuff, yeah.
And throwing a stick to your dog.
ATVs.
Okay.
You know, that's the picture you want to paint, by the way, for whatever you're selling, rural vacant land-wise or mobile home-wise. So you own it all. And because the structure itself is usually less than $100,000 and it's not taxed the way a house is, what you're really getting taxed on is the land. So it's all good. Everybody wins. The taxes are really low. You are enjoying, hopefully, if you do everything right, as an owner, you enjoy the whole thing is appreciating, not depreciating like a regular mobile home would in a park because of the land. The mobile home itself is probably depreciating or going down in value. So that's the difference. And I'm a huge advocate of the latter here.
I just want to add real quick that not every piece of land will allow a mobile. So please check that.
Right. I mean, there's some states like Arkansas and Texas who are very, very mobile compliant. And then there's some places, California, like Los Angeles is one of them, that they just haven't caught up with the times. And they're not, still have this perception that mobile homes and mobile home parks are, they kind of junk up the place, which I just think the further we get into mobile homes, it's just not the case.
And please think mobile home and tiny houses too, because it's all encompassing and everybody's got a big thing about tiny houses. It's kind of like the same thing. They have wheels on them. Mm-hmm. That's really it. You've got wheels on it. That's how it gets there.
Right.
So my other thing I was going to add too is check also, because some counties will allow mobiles in some areas and not other areas within that same county. So don't rule out a county because one location that you looked at had to be zoned a certain way. A little further out might be okay.
I'm in the writing process of doing Mobile Home Academy, which will be part of House Academy, which is the house show. It's a good time to talk about that.
Yep.
It's not going to cost any more or anything else. Just it's more value added.
Yep.
And now is the time. If you've ever thought about doing mobile homes and you've successfully bought and sold real estate, now's the time to get involved in it. I'm writing and filming as fast as I can.
Mm. Right after Car Academy.
Yeah, which is done. I just got note. Well, we won't release it today, but it's very close to being released. And it's very similar. Mm-hmm. It's mobile homes.
Cool. Wow. You're like, that was a light bulb moment. That was a Steven light bulb. That's hilarious. Ding. That's good.
Today's topic, step-by-step instructions on how to double your house money in these virus times. This is why you're listening. Oh my gosh, Jack. All you ever said was, if you buy and sell houses, you're going to hit singles. There's no real chance of hitting a home run and doubling your money. Well, that was before the virus hit. Mm-hmm. We're in a recession now, and here's what we did. Jill and I did in from 2010 to 2012. And I expect some version of this is going to happen. You analyze in every single market, every single MSA, any big city, there are census tracts. And we own a website that's free to the public called Countywise, and you can access all the census data, the map census tracts and stuff, right down to the county and 100% of the coverage in the country. Mm-hmm. What you want to do is identify places, like here in Los Angeles, it's Compton. I ran all the tests. You want to identify the places that are going to see the largest reduction in house price through recessionary times. And it's always those real low-end markets. But I want you to be careful, because there's places like some sections of inner city Detroit that don't fluctuate at all. They're just always bad. And there's places in like Flint, Michigan, and other places, specifically in the Midwest for some reason, just never recover. So that fluctuation that we all live for as investors, that huge price fluctuation, you just don't see it. Yeah. There's also markets, and we live in one of them, where the top end just doesn't fluctuate. It's relatively recession-proof, for lack of a better description. You want to stay away from those too. Stay away from the extreme bottom, stay away from the extreme top. Look for that C to D census tract area.
Which is like the, okay, wait, so the top, the bottom, so I'm going, it's like the 40 to 60% window if I...
Yeah, and it's also not the middle of the bell curve.
Right.
I mean, if the bell curve is measuring variance, that's, you want to be at the middle of the bell curve. But it's not the healthy blue collar environments. They don't see as much fluctuation either. You want to scrape the bottom, but not the inner city
not
bottom.
The bad bottom.
But if you drive through Compton, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that bad of a neighborhood. But there's a lot of trading of assets at this time because the income's more volatile than it is in a let's say more stable blue collar neighborhood.
Right.
So there's places in Phoenix you can once you capture this concept, what I'm talking about, you'll look at a map and you'll go to San Francisco, let's say, or anywhere, Chicago, and you're going to see the places that will experience those just by common sense, especially if you've spent some time there or lived there.
Right.
So that's how you double your money. So here's the step-by-step. You go to Redfin Data and you download, we do this on our Thursday webinars, download the data that you think are going to experience this dramatic price change. And it's the C and D census tracts. And you get them by zip code, download the data, and test it against national data or state data or county data. It's, I'm throwing a lot at you right now. If you're brand new to this, it's going to sound confusing, but it's really not. Yeah. And test it. And what you're looking for is quite simply this. Was the price of the property in 2012 in this zip code, these houses, more than double or triple than it is now? Mm-hmm. What you're looking for is 300%. That's how you double your money. That's going to, we're already seeing, if you go on to realtor.com and click through these neighborhoods and go and look at Jill's favorite thing, like what did they pay for this house? What was it worth in 2012? What was it worth now? You're going to see just a cliff fall off in pricing for this last month. So that's it. That's how you do it. If you're in a group and you're listening or watching this, please attend these Thursday webinars, because I go through it. I show everybody exactly how to do it, step by step by step. In this medium, it's hard to do that. But that's the deal. That's what professional real estate investors do. This is not something I concocted. Well, I kind of sort of did, but it's not. We've proven it. Jill and I were buying in Phoenix. We were buying properties.
It sounds nuts.
Yeah,
that's the thing. It
sounds not possible.
But it sounds not possible. When you go look at history and look back, like the dates you were talking about, you'll see it. Like, so this is how I describe it. Click around, find an area that you think this happened, or you like maybe Vegas. We all know areas that got hit hard, back the last time. So go check and confirm your suspicion, your hunch. And I'm sure there's areas, for those of you on the East Coast, there's probably areas that you're very familiar with that we are not. We just know the ones that we're closest to, right? Or we were in and saw it and lived it. But go click around, as you see, like he said, you can go bought for this, sold for that, and it's starting to happen now. Mm-hmm. It's really interesting.
It's definitely starting now.
You can see right now indications. I do it every morning. I lay in bed and I look on Redfin and Realtor and everything, and I see back on market, and I see the price that's listed at below what they paid for it. So it's coming. And you can go back and look, what was it? What was it? How did this all, how did we get to this point? Take it from
I mean, that's it. So once you find that variance, then you can hone in on real specific census tracts or neighborhoods, or however you see it.
Exactly.
For instance, in Phoenix, there's 4 zip codes that I love, but there's one zip code in particular, and one section of that zip code I'm going to go back to the well when it's time.
Yep. And
so that's really what you're doing, is forget about the real estate itself. Just look at the price fluctuations, analyze that through Redfin data. It's all free. And realtor.com, the data section there, they're actually, I'm going to cover that today on the calls.
Cool.
Find your data and just find that area and watch. Just obsess on it, and you will do great.
Happy you could join us today. Every Tuesday and Thursday, you can find us right here on the House Academy Show. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we are next door on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show is called the National Association of Realtors Self-Serving and What I Think Are False Recessionary Predictions. You are not alone in your real estate ambition.
I look forward to talking about that tomorrow because it makes me mad.
Why would real estate, the largest real estate agency in the world, benefit from saying, oh, everything's fine?
I know. It's nuts.
It's not fine.
It's not. I can't wait to talk about this tomorrow. I know you have a lot to say.
Me too.
The House Academy Show remains commercial-free for you, our loyal listener. So wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are Steven Jill.
Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.